Hey guys, it's me David and welcome back to another review. Today I have the LEGO Harry Potter Gringotts Wizarding Bank. This is the collector's edition. It is set number 76417, has 4,803 pieces. The set's actually going to retail for $430. There was a rumor going around that this was going to be a $500 set, so it's $70 less than the original rumor, which is always nice to hear. Now the set's going to be released on September 1st of 2023. Down in the description below, I have a link to lego.com. It's affiliated, it helps out the channel. If you choose to purchase the set, consider using the link. All right, so pretty much every LEGO Harry Potter fan out there has been wanting Gringotts for a very long time now. Ever since the Diagon Alley set came out a few years back, everybody has been wondering, where is Gringotts? And it is finally here, and it's so much better than I ever expected it to be. This is not what I expected in this set, and I definitely know a lot of Harry Potter fans weren't expecting the actual vault to be included in this set, or at least in this way. On top of that, you're getting the dragon here. Like, oh my god, there is so much happening in this set. 13 minifigures in this set, most of which are exclusive. We'll be taking a look at that here in a few minutes. This set is over 2 feet tall, which is crazy, and not only that, technique-wise, this is the first time that I've ever seen LEGO elevate a base plate. So Gringotts here is actually a separate building. In fact, you can take it off the vault portion and put it with your Diagon Alley set, which is really ingenious, meaning you have multiple ways to display the set. So I am pumped for the fact that this is an all-new concept for a LEGO set. Taking a look at the back of the box, you can see that there is a full interior to Gringotts, as I would expect there to be, but there is so many details to look around this set. This really is going to be quite a review. I'm so excited to finally dig into this set. We are going to be taking a look at what Gringotts looks like with all the Diagon Alley buildings. Lastly, I just want to talk about that price, $430. That is pricey for this type of set, but honestly, 4,800 pieces, $430, that doesn't sound too bad. When you do compare it to Diagon Alley, it originally retailed for $400 back in the day, and it came with 5,500 pieces. Now it goes for $450 because of inflation. So $450 for 5,500 pieces, it's actually in line. Diagon Alley and Gringotts here are in line with their prices pretty relatively well, so this doesn't seem that overpriced. Again, we'll see if it's worth that $430, because that is a lot of money to spend on a set. So this is a big buying decision for most of you, so let's go find out and see if it's worth it. I do want to thank LEGO for sending this set over for review. Without further ado, let's go into the in-depth. So jumping into Gringotts, as I expected, this thing is absolutely crazy in person. I'm very impressed with the build. There's lots to go through within this set, like a ton of details. But first, let's take a look at what I was really surprised about, which was a brand new base plate. Would you believe that? LEGO has introduced a new version of the base plate. While it's barely any different than the previous 32 stud by 32 stud base plates, this one has little indentations on the underside, I assume to add a little bit of friction for how it sits on the top of the cave portion, which is fascinating. Looking at stickers, there's over 50 stickers, I believe, here, which is a lot. At least the stickers are really cool looking, so they definitely add a lot to the set, but still, I wish there was more printed pieces. Making our way onto minifigures, first up is young Harry Potter from the Sorcerer's Stone. As you can see, Harry has a little bit of money there. This is the same version that you do also get in the Diagon Alley set, so no new figure here. Next up is Deathly Hallows Part 2 version of Harry Potter, and as you can see, he's all grown up and different face print, including a little bit of water on the second side of the print from going through the waterfall. After that, we have Bellatrix the Strange. However, this is the Polyjuice potion version of Bellatrix, meaning that it's actually Hermione Granger. So there's a dual face print there with Hermione with some water, and you can actually switch out her hair, which is really cool. Then we have Ron, who's just basically in disguise here, and he also comes with 2 different facial prints. As you can see, has some water on the secondary face because they all go through that waterfall through the cave system, and a different hairpiece for Ron as well. Next, we have Hagrid, who can go alongside the young Harry Potter from Sorcerer's Stone. Hagrid comes with his pink umbrella. This is not a new version. Next, we have a Death Eater, which has a dual-sided print on its face, which is really cool. Love that figure. And then we also have 2 Gringotts guards here, both with different skin tones. Same torso print and same hat, but still look really good and definitely add to the set for sure. Next up is the first goblin of the set, which is Griphook. As you can see, he comes with the sword of Gryffindor, which makes a lot of sense. And you can also see he has arm printing, which I definitely wasn't expecting for this character. A really nice add-in, extra detail for us hardcore fans. He also includes a dual-sided face with that little scar that Bellatrix gives him, which is a nice little detail as well. Our next goblin is Rickbert, who also includes a little bit of money. No surprise there. There's a dual-sided face on this figure as well. You might also notice that there's a dual-molded new hairpiece for all the goblins as well. Next up is Bogrod. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is the other goblin that follows them into the cave system in part 2. So you can notice that he has a dual-sided face print that shows a little bit of fire and burns from that dragon. Lastly, we have two goblin bankers, both of which share the same torso with that dual molded arms, which is super nice looking. And then you'll see that they do have different face prints as well as hair colors, which look really good. And I absolutely love that LEGO included these figures. Next, we move on to the Ukrainian Iron Belly Dragon, the one that saves the crew from escaping Gringotts, and I think LEGO absolutely nailed it here. I love the way the dragon's face looks, specifically that flame piece coming out of it looks perfect, and I believe that's actually a new color with that trans black introduced with the trans orange. As you can see, the mouth can be closed. Great printing on this head here. I think it looks really good. As for the rest of the body, as you can see, the wings open up utilizing some fabric pieces that are brand new and unique to this set. You can see that the tail has a bunch of different ball joints here. So lots of posability. There's even some toe posability utilizing those new fingers from the action figure line that LEGO has been doing with Marvel. Very good parts usage there, and there is a little bit of head movement as well. So you can basically articulate this dragon however you want. And you also notice there's some areas where Ron, Harry, and Hermione can all attach to the dragon so they can fly off and escape Gringotts. I think this looks so cool with the three figures on the back of the dragon. This is definitely one of my favorite play features of the set so far. Next, we have these 3x3 circular tiles that are representing currency for Gringotts. They're large versions of the currency that the minifigures hold. And as you can see, it's actually meant to be added to the LEGO Harry Potter icon set, which I found to be very strange and interesting. Now making our way onto the actual set. As you can see, this thing is very well built. I was extremely impressed with the overall construction here and engineering that went into this for it to not break if you hold it really anywhere. Now, this set does detach, meaning the upper half of Gringotts is a separate section on a physical base plate, which has never really been done like this before. It's a first, and it looks super cool. As to how the base plate actually attaches to the top side of the cave, it just simply sits down onto some different corner panels, as you can see here. Those panels are locked in on ball joints at a 45-degree angle. I'm surprised that this design actually works. Making our way into the actual cave system, let's take a look at this cart here. You can see that LEGO is actually utilizing the roller coaster cart piece, which I think is pretty ingenious, and it makes sense given that it's going to be on coaster track. You can see that LEGO's even utilizing some rims from cars there on the side of the cart, which I thought was ingenious. Unfortunately, Ron and Hermione are going to have to be left behind because the cart only fits 2 minifigures, which is a little bit of a downer, but I'm sure you could modify that. Now, I absolutely love this part. Basically, you can push the cart down into different volts, and there's a little stopping point utilizing these gear systems. Now, the first volt here is 687. This is Harry Potter's actual vault. So this is the one that his parents leave all of that money to for Harry to actually go to Hogwarts and all that jazz. So that's very cool. That's our first vault. If we make our way to the next vault, 713, this is the one Hagrid stops at during the Sorcerer's Stone first Harry Potter movie. And inside, well, that's top secret. Best not to share anything about that. The final vault at the bottom of the cave is probably what you expected, Bellatrix the Strange's vault. And as you can see, it's a little bit different looking. And if you open it, you'll see there is the cup or the Horcrux there. And there's even a whole bunch of different money represented using stickers. Now you can add like 15, 16 different cups, and there's a play function here. Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to get it working properly. It's hit or miss whether it works, but it basically duplicates all those cups, which is pretty cool. To the side of the vault, there is the Iron Belly Dragon area where you can lock up the dragon if you so choose. There's even those little rocker ringers that the goblins and Ron use to get past the dragon. So that's really cool. There's a little poop shovel there and a little chain, plus a feeding schedule, which I absolutely love. There's also the waterfall that washes away any magical spells. So that's there. It's not that ingrained into the set, but I'm glad the detail is included. As to how you get the cart back up to the top, simply detach it and reattach it at the top and spin it around the cave and do it again. Making our way above ground now to the actual Gringotts Bank. As you can see, it is highly detailed, jam-packed with details pretty much all around the set. This thing is literally another giant modular building to be added with your Diagon Alley collection, which is perfectly fine with me and perfectly fine with basically every LEGO Harry Potter fan out there, because this is basically what everybody wanted, is this section alone. As for some of those exterior details, first up on the left side, you'll have the magical menagerie shop here in dark red. That looks all great. Nice little details, a little sign that says brews and stews. Then we also have a junior wizard savings account, multiply your fortune. I love that joke. And then we also have a little Death Eater sticker here on the other side of the building and some wanted posters. There's a pumpkin juice advertisement on the side, which I absolutely love. And there's even some owls hanging around on the side of Gringotts as well. We have two different owls, which I think look wonderful. I love these colors that LEGO chose. On the back side, there's again some more wanted posters here, a little bit hinting towards some of the other movies. And then we also have this fang brushes with a little spider there, like lots of great little details. Even though they're all stickers, I really love what the graphic designer has done here. There's also some hidden details, a little cash register and fang brush in the shop as well. On the top here, on the side of Gringotts, you'll notice there's a little goblin peeking out on the side of a window, which I really like. Now making our way physically into the actual Gringotts Bank, taking that roof off so we get some more lighting inside. As you can see, there is tons of details to unpack here. The first of which is the main desk that sits in the middle of the bank. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of great detail on this, and it is indeed removable, so that way you can access the rest of the floor area on the bottom. There's also a side door here, and taking a closer look at some of those other smaller desks, these can also be removed and you can put various goblins here. There's 4 other desks, 5 goblins in total, so you can basically fill all the seats here. I put Bellatrix the Strange and the Snatcher, aka Ron, in there, and I loved remaking that part 2 scene. There's also some printed pieces in this set, like this half dome, which is really cool. I like this for the column. It adds just that nice extra detail. There's also this really well-made chandelier that I thought was a nice little standout on the interior of Gringotts. You'll notice there is lots of room to get your hands inside the bank, and it also alludes to another feature that we'll get to in just a minute. You'll also notice there is actually a second floor. It's not a full-fledged second floor, it's just kind of like a balcony basically. There's some coins and gold ingots on one side, and we also have a writing desk, a little painting of a goblin, and then we also have a hidden compartment or a safe, and inside it there is this little top secret 1x2 tile that I believe is for Hagrid to give to the goblin banker in Sorcerer's Stone. On the other side there is just some more money and a little chest there. Some great extra details also include those lanterns on the top side, and then next we have the roof, which you might notice has some broken glass on it, and this is supposed to allude to, you guessed it, the Ukrainian dragon escaping with the crew on him. I love the way this looks. It looks epic in my opinion. It looks just like it does in part 2 of Deathly Hallows. And I saved the best for last. The Hungarian Iron Belly dragon can indeed fit inside the bank. LEGO made sure of that, and I absolutely think that's so great. You'll also notice on the side of Gringotts there is some Technic pinholes that is in line with the LEGO modular buildings, meaning that here it is, Gringotts attached with the rest of Diagon Alley. This looks so good in my opinion. Now, to my surprise, there's actually multiple ways to attach the LEGO Diagon Alley set to the Gringotts Bank. One of which is this kind of corner cut 90-degree angle that I have here. You'll see that it does match up with Diagon Alley, even with those rock pieces and the walkways themselves. That all naturally looks good together. I love the way this all looks, but not a lot of people are going to have the spacing to make something like this work. It takes up my entire work table, which I wasn't really expecting, but it is a very big footprint here. This definitely looks the best. It's not necessarily the most accurate, but I like the way it looks. Now, the one LEGO advertises on their lifestyle images on lego.com is this version. This can be achieved basically with a very long shelf. If you want to hang that, you can do this version. I'm not a big fan of how this is all stretched out. this is probably how I prefer it, where the buildings are a little bit more closer, a little bit more like an actual alley. But my favorite version is probably the more accurate one, where none of the buildings are truly connected to each other utilizing those Technic pins. Instead, they're all kind of scattered around into an alley. And then lastly, we have another way where you can actually attach the buildings on all sides of Gringotts, and that actually still works. So you have plenty of display options here, which is super cool. I think probably what looks best to the eye would probably be this version right here, but it's up to you how you want to display Gringotts with Diagon Alley. Overall, I am very impressed with how Gringotts came together. The amount of details surpassed my expectations over and over again. So I think we all can agree that Gringotts is an absolute wild concept for a Lego set. I most certainly am very impressed that not only Lego is able to come up with this design, but actually achieve it physically and in an engineering perspective very well, because this thing can be picked up, transported, moved around, shaken, and it will not fall, and it absolutely is wild to me that this actually works. Now, getting a little nerdy here, I do find it absolutely fascinating that Lego actually raised a Lego base plate. That isn't the first time they've ever done that, though. They actually mentioned this in the instruction booklet, that the very first time was in 2003 with a Lego Sports ski slope set. My brother actually had that set. I remember playing around with it. He didn't really like it. I thought it was cool. So it's kind of odd that like all these years later, we have another like Lego elevated base plate set, and you know, it's this thing. They're two complete different sets, but still, in a very Lego nerdy way, this just makes me happy. Like, this just pleases me that this has been achieved now. I don't know. That is like, this is an achievement. I think, you know, good job, Lego. I like it. Now, should you go out and spend $430 on this? That is a lot of money. I think it is a very unique set. Like, if you look at the other big Lego sets out there, I think it's definitely the best Lego Harry Potter set. Blows away the collector's train from last year, which I thought was a good set. Little overpriced, but a good set. This seems like an amazing concept to me, but it's not going to appeal to everybody. Some people are going to find this weird and strange-like, but I feel like it totally fits for Harry Potter. It's like really interesting, really weird, and all combined. Like, I feel like that's kind of Harry Potter. So I love it. I absolutely love it. I think they totally nailed the feeling of Lego Harry Potter. As a Lego set, this is actually one of my favorites that I have built all year, up there with like Rivendell. I thought Rivendell was an excellent build experience. This is right alongside it. And it also sits alongside Rivendell pretty similarly in terms of price as well, which, you know, if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, you might cross-shop the two sets given how high the price is. But that's actually kind of a tougher decision, which set I like more. I know a lot of people would probably say Rivendell, but I don't know, man. This thing's pretty cool. So I really like it. I do also think, and my girlfriend mentioned this, that I think Lego absolutely could have separated these two sections as separate sets, that maybe if you buy both will connect to each other, or they could just be standalone sets. I mean, granted, obviously you can do it with this set. You can separate, you can take Gringotts off here and separate it as a separate section, connect it into, say, Diagon Alley if you happen to have that set, which I do recommend. I think it looks really cool having the entire collection next to each other. But you don't have to do that. Or you can, you know, do the tower thing, which I think looks cool when you have the two sets together like that. I genuinely think some people out there buy Lego sets, specifically the big ones, for the sheer wow factor, if you can afford it, of course. So with all that said, while I think the two sets could have been, you know, separate standalone sets, I'm glad they went with this crazy concept of like a big tower of a Harry Potter set. This is, to date, one of my favorite Lego Harry Potter sets ever made. I actually like this more than the Hogwarts Castle, the, I guess, $500-600 set. I think this is truly the best now. That might be up to debate. Let me know down in the comments, what is the best Lego Harry Potter set, the, you know, above $200 price range? What do you think the best Ultimate Collector Series set is? I'm actually very curious. Do you think it's Hogwarts Castle? Do you think it's Diagon Alley? Do you think it's Gringotts? I feel like those are probably the top three to kind of contend with. I like this one the most. I'm going to be honest. I think this is the best so far, and I am very impressed with the set. It's up to you if you want to go spend $430. I feel like you got to be a big Lego Harry Potter fan. I mean, I absolutely love Deathly Hallows Part 2. That is one of my favorite movies. This pleases fans if you're a fan of Sorcerer's Stone, fan of Part 2. this pleases both parties. I'm personally a bigger fan of part 2, and this set absolutely does it for me, and I think if you're a Sorcerer's Stone fan, this set would do it for you as well. So I think LEGO nailed it. I really do. Figures are great. I feel like the price per piece ratio is pretty solid, actually. The build experience is wonderful. I think it's a very unique concept. It's up there as one of the best LEGO sets of 2023, for sure. As is, I have to recommend this set. I think it is worth that $430 price tag. I myself would absolutely be going out day one and buying this set. If LEGO hadn't sent it over to me, I would absolutely buy this because it is just such a cool LEGO set in my opinion. With all that said, don't forget there's a link to lego.com down in the description. Hope you guys have a great, wonderful day. Make sure you subscribe for more crazy LEGO reviews like this, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.